There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies. See if I can. Good morning. Good morning. Tell me where you're dialed in from this morning. Where are you watching from? Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Bailey's trying to say hello. He wants to see all the faces. Good morning. It's so good to see you all this morning. Please let me know where you're tuned in from this morning. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. It's so good to have you, Lorraine. Good morning. Vanetta, Anisha, good morning. Marie, good morning. Good morning in Boston. Love it, love it, love it. Texas, good morning. Good morning. Tia T in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Love it, love it. I'm a Trini Cruisan. So my parents are from Trinidad and Tobago, and I was raised in St. Croix. So I'm an island girl. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to get dialed in and get your beverage, something hot or cold, depending on what your preference is. I'm drinking my lemon, lime, and strawberry infused hot water. So with a little bit of honey. And Bailey's trying to figure out who I'm talking to from Charlotte. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Alice from Michigan. Good morning. It's so good to see and share this time with you today. Oh my gosh, we have so much to cover. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, Marie. Thank you so much. I'm all the way dialed in and committed. And I am absolutely here when you need me. Um, Louisiana, Keisha, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. I'm going to just pull up some notes because, um, and I want to say this before we get started. Thank you so much for being the best part of what we're building here. Good morning, Diane from Tampa Bay. It's so good to have you with us this morning. It's a grown girl glow up today. So we're going to talk about hair. We're going to talk about skin. We'll talk about makeup. We'll talk about our mindset and manifesting, calling in that life that you desire. Good morning. Good morning. And of course, I'll share whatever links to products that you guys are interested in. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for being the best part of what we're building here. The space, the community that we're building is incredible. It's incredible. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for your comments and your transparency. We are learning, we're pivoting, we're healing, we're glowing, and we're thriving together. Good morning. Good morning from Mass. Good morning. Allie, good morning. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for sharing time. Um, with the last couple of sessions that we've done, they've lasted almost 2 hours and it's been incredible. I really set no timeline. We just kind of flow. What I love the most, and I'm hearing your comments and feedback after the live, is that we just flow. We just flow. Good morning. Good morning. Audrey, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us from Delaware. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that you guys are showing up for yourselves. Um, it's an incredible time to be a fabulous woman over 50. We have invested in others. We have raised humans. Some of us have birthed humans. We have run companies and helped other people accomplish their dreams and accomplish dreams ourselves. And this is a really great space that we're in. I can say for myself, it was really awkward initially, just being responsible for myself when I became an empty nester. When my daughter went off to college, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, I took a little time and I realized that I'm just accountable and I can invest all those resources back into myself. And it does feel a little awkward at first, but once we kind of settle in that, it's an incredible place. Like I get to just focus on me every day. What? We can't help but glow up if we focus on ourselves every day. Um, so it's such an incredible time. So congratulations on the season that you're in. For those, we're always on a healing journey, right? Healing evolves. We're evolving constantly, and it's never really over. My desire and my goal when I started this channel was to inspire other women to, despite the things that we collectively face, that we live our most amazing life, that we, despite it, thrive, despite it, overcome, despite it, live our most amazing life. And I started to think about the things that I had to overcome as a woman to stand. And I remember that the first video that I talked about just openly and transparently was my thinning hair and connecting with another sister, another woman. And when I say sister, I mean that in a loving space. In her sharing her journey, I looked at her one day and her hair looked amazing. And I was like, oh my God, your hair looks amazing. What are you doing? It's thick and full. And so she shared her secret sauce with me. And that was really my first step on the journey of just peeling back the layers on how I was able to stand as a woman, right? And all of the things that come with that in this new season of life over 50 or near 50 or 40. I mean, it's a different mindset when we're in this space. And I also discovered that there weren't a lot of creators in the space that we operate in. There weren't a lot of women that looked like me, that had my story or age range where it was a relatable. And so thank you for being the best part of what we're building. Each and every one of you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So where would you like to start this morning? I'm going to need you to take the floor. I'm going to need you to share um, some of your thoughts and desires for our time today. I know that we were going to talk about glow up and we were going to talk about mindset. And shifting our mind is so incredibly important to be able to manifest, right? We cannot manifest when we are in a mind space or emotional space of lack and defeat. When we feel defeated, and sometimes, life be life, and we get beat up sometimes. But what we have to do. Good morning, Sandra from Barbados. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to have you. But life be life but focusing on remaining grateful and being a place of gratitude is really where it all starts. So good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so good to have you. Good morning. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning. It's been certainly an honor, really. This has probably been one of the hardest journeys I've been on. And initially just really meditating on the things that allowed me to become who I am, right? And regardless of where we live, regardless of what we look like and what our, you know, heritage looks like, our family background, our socioeconomic economic class or situation, or where we are, degrees, no degrees, a million degrees, regardless of where we are in life, we're women, right? And that connects us. Good morning, Kelly, from the beach. I love it. And so my videos come from that space. They come from a very authentic as a woman. And we all have had similar stories or can be empathetic to another woman and her journey. And so I honestly truly live this every day that I am my sister's keeper. And so my content comes from me reaching deep and thinking about the things that I have experienced over, my walk and how I was able to stand up, how I was able to stand out. Yes, how to heal. But even when you have support, there's things that you have to work through on your own, right? Because not everyone's story is exactly alike. And sometimes the people closest to you can't relate to what you're going through. But healing is our responsibility, regardless of what's happened, who did what, who didn't do what. And if you notice, my videos never talk about anything except our own responsibility to heal, right? We all have a responsibility to be our best selves every single day. And sometimes we don't even know what that looks like. We don't know what that's supposed to feel like. And those are real emotions. Those are real things that we go through. And when I show up, I'm showing up authentic every single video. Every single video is authentic and real. And um, yes, yes, yes. It's a journey, and if nothing else, know that I'm here and you don't have to do it alone anymore. No more. You don't have to do it alone anymore. And I take an incredible amount of time every day to authentically respond to each and every message. Yes, healing is hard, but it's so beautiful on the other side. When you can no longer be triggered by something that someone did, didn't do, said, or didn't say, you're on the other side. You've healed from that. So we have a responsibility to move through this earth without being triggered. So if you can face a situation that upset you or impacted you previously, and it no longer impacts you, you know that you have successfully overcome that thing. And it's extremely empowering to not be triggered by whatever the things are. And that's the powerful place. That is the absolutely most powerful place where you stand unapologetically. This is me. This is me. And I stand unapologetically in my skin, living life in the ways that resonate with me. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. And then as you move healed, you then can help someone else on their journey, right? So I am so grateful for each and every one of you. So grateful. Give me just a moment because I took some notes so I could make sure to stay on track because your girl is long winded. Um, you know. Let's see. So where would you like to start? this morning. Where would you like to start, ladies? Tell me, where would you like to start? Um, I wanted to actually share these manifestation cards that I've recently purchased, and they are incredible. And so every single day I go through these cards. Yes, 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 it is. It is so hard, but it does feel so amazing when you choose yourself, right? Because we've helped everyone else around us. And I made a decision a long time ago. It seems like a million years ago. I really don't even know how long ago it was because to be on the other side of it is incredible. That I was no longer going to give someone more of me than I gave myself. And that is when things really changed for me. And I gave a lot and I give a lot, but I'm sure damn going to show up more in stronger ways for myself. Right. And I always put the needs of my family, my loved ones, the people around me that I adore before me. And I gave myself what I had left at the end of the day. And honestly, it almost killed me. Literally, literally almost killed me because I was so depleted. I ended up in the hospital with meningitis and it it almost killed me. I wasn't sleeping, I was running on E, I was working full time, a single mom, and full time in grad school. It almost killed me. And so that really kind of started my pivot slowly to start making changes for myself. And that shit was slow to turn. It didn't happen overnight. Yes, Allison, the cards are incredible. And so, I start, and throughout the day, I'll read them. This one says, I receive just by existing. I receive just by existing. I am the blueprint for success. I am the blueprint for success. I am always at the right place at the right time. These are powerful things to speak into the universe. I don't work for money, money works for me. They're incredible. They're incredible. I get paid to exist. I get paid to exist. I don't search for love. Love searches for me. I breathe and the world rearranges itself to fulfill my desires. These things are incredible. They're incredible. My mind is worth millions. They're absolutely incredible. The universe spoils me constantly. And so by speaking this, universe, show me how it gets better. Just absolutely incredible affirmations to put out into the universe. And more importantly, expecting them to show up for you in your life. And they do. Okay. I still am looking for my notes. This is so tell me what you did this week for yourself. I know in the community post I made a couple of I checked in with you all and asked for you to make an investment in yourself. Good morning, Joyce from North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us. Not for anyone else, but just for yourself. Do you guys see Bailey in the background? He's like, who are you talking to, Mama? He's just adorable. Um, you know, I know that a few people mentioned they were going to take a trip to Sephora and get their favorite ice cream and um, rest and recharge. Tell me some of the things that you did for yourself to pour into you. this week? One thing. And then we'll jump into tell me where you'd like to start if we're going to talk about products, talk about skincare, hair. Just tell me, ladies, where you would like to navigate. Where'd you like to be today in our chat? And I'm still looking for my notes, but I can't find them. I can't even believe I can't find my notes. The nail bar. Oh, thank you so much. I go to, gosh, just like that. The name escapes me. Sugarcoat. Sugarcoat, and they have a number of locations. And um, oh, yay! Deep tissue massages. I love it. So Sugarcoat for nails. If you mention my name, you actually get 10% discount regardless of the location per the owner. And I think there's maybe 7 or 8 locations. I'm not really sure, but if you mention my name, you get a 10% discount. And so she's actually made that commitment for all of my viewers, regardless of the channel. Yeah. And so I actually go to the one in Buckhead. So I don't know where in the city, where in the metro Atlanta area you live, but if you go to Buckhead, you can ask for Amy. That's the nail tech that actually does my nails. And she's amazing. She's incredible. Her name's Amy, and she's in Buckhead and Midtown. She works in Midtown on Sundays. Midtown on Sundays. Um, Sugarcoat. Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you, Audra. Thank you so much. So this hair has been a journey. So I actually brought some of my products. So last time I was running back and forth to get products. So I planned in advance today, so I don't actually have to do that. And so Kevin gave me a really amazing tip, and that was to take my shampoo that I use, and I use all Pantene products. Pantene products work really well for my hair. There's not a lot of heavy buildup. My hair is very fine, and it makes my hair grow incredibly fast. And so I use the Pantene Intense Repair as my regular shampoo, and I put a half a cap of hydrogen peroxide in it, and that helps the gray stay really white. Um, I love the Bust Your Brass uh, mask, but sometimes that leaves a little bit of a tint, even when I rinse it and emulsify it kind of before I apply it to my hair. And so I kind of pulled back on using that mask because it leaves a very, very faint little tint every maybe third use. And so I this morning I actually just shampooed with my Pantene Intense, and like I said, I put a half a cap of hydrogen peroxide in a full bottle. Okay, the recommendation was for me to put a whole. I was scared, so I didn't. I only put a half a cap, but it definitely works because it makes it really helps my gray stay really shimmery white. And then of course I use a million different conditioners. Um, we're traveling, wonderful. I love this. Oh yes, concerts. I love live concerts. Those are like the absolute best. Um, yes, I am a real estate. I'm a realtor. I'm a real estate agent broker. Um, yes, which I've been in the real estate industry a long time, girls. Long time. I've been in the business over 20 years. I started selling. I started in the, actually started in real estate as a real estate closer. Then I sold new homes, got my real estate license, and got my broker's license a number of years after that. I think I've held a broker's license. I don't know, 12. 13, 14 years. I don't really know. I lost count on that. And so what else? What else did you guys do for yourselves? I love concerts. I love everything um, where we take time to just do something for ourselves, even if that's finding a quiet place at home to just sit without interruption. That means just taking a walk, going to the park, sitting quietly in your car. You know, it doesn't have to be this huge event. Just making a commitment to do something for yourself, making your favorite beverage, watching your favorite movie, reading your favorite book. So these little things are, and someone said it really well the other day, it's medicine. It's medicine for us. Self care is critical. It's medicine. It heals you. And so it's so important that you make time in your week for yourselves. Yes, I love that. I love that, Joyce. Time for you. And walking is incredible. Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it. We have to make time for ourselves. Yes, I love it, Stacey. I love it. A pedicure. In my manis and pedis, that's self care. That's all that is for me. Is that's self care. Yeah, it's pretty and I like it, but it's part of my self care. Going to get my hair trimmed is self care. Right? I'm at a point now where I actually don't have to go as frequently, and I'm a little sad about that because it's so much fun hanging out with Kevin. It's just so much fun hanging out with him. But now I just go every month, and he just kind of just a snip here, a snip there, and that's it. Um, but the time is so valuable because we laugh, um, and get updates on what's going on in each other's world, and it's just such a great time to share time with amazing souls. Um, yes, tell me what else. What else did you guys do? Or what do you have planned? And what I'd also love for you to do is make a commitment to do something for yourself every week, right? If it's not every day, like walking, like Joyce is, and pedicures are great. We're doing those every 2 weeks or once a month or whenever we're doing those things, right? Maintenance wise. Um, but making a commitment to do something for yourself every week is so, so important. It is critical to our wellness because we can't continue to pour out in the ways that we do and not make deposits in ourselves. And it is not anyone else's responsibility to pour into us. That's our responsibility for ourselves. What I love the most about this tea that I drink is that it helps the stomach just be flat. So it really pushes out. Um, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. My life, tell me your name. Because what's one of the things I'd like to know? Tell me your first name because it's important. And I remember names because when I see your photos in the comments, I can refer back and it helps me get to know each and every one of you. It's impossible to know everyone, which is why I love these lives. It's kind of a little bit personal. We get to share a little bit of intimate time together. It's an absolute honor to share time week to week with each and every one of you. And I feel like we're all besties, you know, um, in the middle of the vision store. Um, oh, well, I hope that appointment goes well. But it's so important week to week that we do something for ourselves. I know that I intentionally start the day focused on me. That wasn't always the case for me. I used to focus on, um, I didn't realize that light wasn't on. I used to focus first on everything that everyone else wanted or needed of me. And now I intentionally stop and I focus on myself and I make decisions on whether I'm going to go to the gym first thing in the morning or whether I'm going to do it later in the day or whether I'm going to go at all, right? Because I'm the boss. I'm the boss of me. So, hey, love, how are you? Tell me your first name. Tell me your first name. Drop your first name and where you're watching from. So, okay, so we've talked about manifestation. We've talked about intentionally making decisions for our life every Saturday, every other. I love it. I love it, Lorraine. Lorraine, and I want to thank you for your messages. They're incredible. Like I really see you moving through this incredible, you're on this incredible journey of self-reflection, you know, discarding things that don't serve you anymore and just making a commitment to speak just amazing affirmations, not only over yourself, but over the community that we're building. So thank you for that. Hey, how are you? Danica, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for being a part of our growing tribe. And I said this when we started. You, each and every one of you, you are the best part of what we're building here. So thank you for showing up every day, week to week, for sharing openly and transparently on the things that are resonating with you and how my transparency is helping. I'm so grateful. I receive messages from women all over the world, and it's extremely overwhelming. And I'll say this: I cry every day. I'm a crier already, but the tears are of gratitude. I'm so grateful to be an inspiration to someone to help them stand in a healed place, in a healthy place, in a place where you remember who you are. Each and every one of you are incredible. You were born incredible. And we get lost sometimes in trying to figure out life and be this for this person and be that and do this and do that. And sometimes we get lost in that. And if we're not careful, we'll get swept away. And it can happen so easily in our commitment to be our best self for those that depend on us, right? 'Cause we hold it down. We do so much day to day, week to week in our villages. Um, and if we have to make time for ourselves, we have to take that extra time to brush our hair and apply our lip gloss or makeup or eyeliner, whatever it is that we want to do. Take a few extra minutes and put on. You know, I go to bed smelling amazing. I go to bed by myself every night, but I want to smell amazing when I go to bed because that's important to me. It's important to me that I walk in a way, I move in a way where I say I love me. I care for me well. I'm not going to care more for someone else than I'm going to care for myself. And that in itself, that's a whole message. That's a whole word right there. Oh, thank you so much. Maritha, thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad that each and every one of you have joined me today. I feel like it's an absolute honor to share time with you. So, okay, what's next? What else do we want to talk about this morning, ladies? So, tomorrow's video, I can give you a little sneak about tomorrow's video, I think, while you guys are dropping some comments, is I'm going to talk about how I lost weight without starving myself to death. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow in tomorrow's video. How I lost weight and maintained that weight over 50 without starving. However, starvation is a real plan, and it's a plan that does work. Nighttime self-care. My daughter she's doing well. She's doing well. She just turned 21. Um, a few weeks ago, uh, yeah, if I'm looking at the date, a few weeks ago, and she's doing so incredibly well. Um, she's decided that she is going to step away from school and just work full time, and I support that. It's been a road for her. Um, it's been a road of healing, and this is actually the first summer in 2 years that she's had since her accident and injury, so she's doing so well. Thank you. So I can talk a little bit about makes okay, let's talk about nighttime self-care. Um, yes, yes, you're right there, Aretha, you're right there, and the more time you take for yourself, you will find you on that journey, and, you know, there was a time when I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself, and that is a really challenging space to be in when you don't even recognize yourself. Um, and so it's okay. And, you know, it is important that even when you're doing your affirmations to speak to yourself, look at yourself in the mirror. Um, yes, yes. Aunties love her. She's amazing. She's one of the strongest people that I know, and she has a lot of grace, and we all deserve grace, and it's okay. She's gonna come back home, and I've reorganized our space to, make sure that she can settle in because she's gonna be at home full time every day. So, and that's gonna be just fine. And I've missed her while she's away at school, and I'm glad to have her back at home. And I think that it helps her ground to be close to mom. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, yes, it is scary, but you got it. You got it. Regina, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking about her. She's incredible. She's incredible. Um, yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna talk about weight loss and how I did it without starving. Well, I starved a little bit. I starved a little bit. So nighttime routine, like, oh my gosh. So my nighttime routine really starts with mentally decompressing first. And so my nighttime routine generally starts with a long shower, and I take everything from the day and I wash it down the drain. I am intentional with the body brush that I use, and it really aids in my skin being so even and flawless because it's a circular motion, and I'm exfoliating every time I use that, right, twice a day, and so it really helps and makes my complexion completely even on my whole body. Everything matches, right, and so that circular motion also for me is very therapeutic, right? It's stimulating my skin. And it is really an exercise that really helps me kind of just take it all and let it go. I also get the most amazing downloads from God in the shower. It's incredible. The ideas that come to me while I'm showering, some of the most amazing video ideas and concepts and thoughts have come to me while I'm in the shower. So I generally have a notepad or something so that when I get out of the shower, I can scribble everything down. um, but I'm very intentional with my nighttime routine. So it starts with a shower. I use oils that feel spa like because I'm valuable, right? And so it really just helps me remember that I am valuable And I take care in applying the lotion and applying the oil, and I put on a nighttime fragrance. Um, I brush my hair, not 100 times, but I take time to intentionally without rushing. And I think that's the most important part of it is doing my self-care and doing your self-care without rushing. Why are you rushing your self-care? Because we should be the most important person in our lives, right? And I'm not gonna, if I had to give a bath to someone that I love, I'm gonna take my time and be gentle and slow with that process. So that same energy that I would give in caring for someone as their caregiver, if they needed my help, is the same energy, if not more, I'm going to give to myself. So I'm not going to rush my shower. I'm not going to rush applying oil and lotions and creams to my body. I'm not going to rush brushing my hair or curling my hair or applying my lip gloss. So it's that same energy that I use because I am an important person in my life. I'm valuable. So and so that's kind of the energy that I use in my self-care at night and during the day. And so the products that I use, um, let me see, I brought, okay, so my facial wash that I use is this hydrating oil cleanser by Sunday Riley. So this is the cleanser that I use at night. I use this during the day and at night, and it's incredible because what it has done is it puts more moisture back into my skin. I also will exfoliate a few times um, in the evening with this. I don't know if you can see it. This sugar face polish, and it's incredible. It smells amazing. I don't even know what's in it. It smells like, oh, it has strawberries in it. So it exfoliates with strawberry seeds, which is incredible. It smells like vanilla and brown sugar and strawberries, and it's incredible. And I put that on my face. And so a lot of times I do this in the shower. So I actually leave it in the shower and I just do this a couple of times a week. But I'm polishing my face. I'm polishing my skin, removing dead cells and skin and brightening and even continuing to help my complexion be even, my skin be even. So I use an oil based. I don't double cleanse at night because I just feel like I don't want to over cleanse my skin. So this is the cleanser I use at night. I always follow with some kind of toner. I generally don't use the pink drink. This is by Sunday Riley as well. And I can drop these links if you guys want. Just let me know. This all is in my Amazon store. Everything is in my Amazon store. And so I can drop that if you'd like. Sunday Riley, this I use during the day. This is the pink drink, and I use this during the day. And at night, I use witch hazel, the cucumber witch hazel. That's it. And so because I feel like I don't want to have use always the same products during the day and at night because I don't need the same kind of coverage at night, right? I want to make sure my face is moisturized, but I don't need the afterglow as an example at night. So this is the moisturizer I use during the day. And this is by Sunday Riley as well. It is incredible. It is called Afterglow. And it has vitamin C in it. It's a brightener as well. And it's incredible. It is hands down completely transformed my skin. Like I don't even have the same skin that I had a year ago. It's incredible. And so this I use during the day, but I don't use this at night. I don't need this at night. So I just use Dew. I didn't bring that with me, but it's in my Amazon store and it's just a white, fragrance-free, hydrating um, moisturizer that works incredibly well, and my face doesn't feel dry or tight. And of course, hyaluronic acid, right? That is a necessary component, especially for my ladies using tretinoin. And so this I learned recently, and I use the ordinary. Um, this I apply a couple of times during the day. So if I feel like my face is thirsty, is feeling a little dry, I will just you can apply it over your makeup for those of you that wear makeup. Like I'm a makeup girly. I'm gonna have on some level of light coverage. It's gonna happen. So I can apply it right over my makeup midday. And it's like I said, a tall glass of water for your face. So that's essentially my nighttime. So of course I have a wash. I use an astringent or a toner, right? And at night I use witch hazel. If I feel like I need, like maybe I've got maybe a fine breakout, I will use magic molecule. That's a really because what it will do is heal the skin overnight. Um, it's a great product, and that's in my Amazon store as well. So a cleanser, a toner, hyaluronic acid, and then your moisturizer, whichever moisturizer you choose. I just look for things that have um, hyaluronic acid in them. Um, so they do a lot of hydrating because that's really important for me. And I feel like because I have a number of products that really hydrate my skin, it really helps lend for it to just glow and have this kind of really flawless look. And now in my life, I use less makeup than I ever did in my life. And I have almost this flawless coverage. And tretinoin started me on that journey. So tretinoin was the catalyst that created the change for me that got me on the journey that I'm on now, right? It wasn't just tretinoin. It was really me having to now discover this new skin and how was I going to care for this new skin as my skin began to transform. And the last thing that I do at night is I make a hot cup of tea, die, and I go sit on my balcony. And sometimes that's midnight. Sometimes it's midnight before I'm able to do that because depending on what I'm doing in my day, sometimes my workday doesn't start till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Just depending on I may be filming, I may have appointments, and so my actual work sit down time may not start at 4. I still have a full workday that has to take place. So it might be midnight before I'm out on my balcony. This morning I went to bed at 3. So um, it's that, but I make that time for myself. So I'll go sit on my balcony, whatever time that is. I have consistently done that. And then I have kind of a wind down with affirmations that I speak before I go to bed. And that's kind of what my nighttime care looks like. So I take extra care in making sure I'm oiling my fingernails and my toenails because they need to stay soft as well. So in that process, I actually have some. There's a small business owner that makes an amazing body. God, he calls it God's body butter that I purchased, and he is based in St. Croix, and that's the product that I use at night. And I massage my hands and my feet with it, my arms, and I will use my massager sometimes and then I drift off to sleep because I want to be peaceful. I don't want to be frantic and rushed and climb into bed and feel exhausted. I need to step into bed feeling refreshed. It has completely changed how I sleep when I started doing that in my life. Um, yes, thank you. Skincare and dining alone. So, skincare. Danica, tell me specifically about self. the self-care. What questions you have about that? Okay, I'm reading comments. Let me catch up. Beulah, hi, good to see you. Stop cutting my hair. Okay, no more cutting. I'm not. It's not really a haircut, just a little trim, just a trim. Just keep it nice and fresh. But yes, I am definitely on a grow out, and so the goal is to at least get back to a shoulder length. My hair used to be down the middle of my back, so my hair used to be very, very long, and then one day I just started cutting it, and I had to stop. So I am committed to let it grow out. We're gonna get through the new year with me with longer hair. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Yvette, thank you so much. Yes, I'm so glad that you joined us. You know, thank you for that. No matter where I've lived, and I've heard this my entire life, when my friends would come over, they always said my home felt like a hotel. Like, this is my safe space. So wherever I've lived, one, I was always ready to sell, right? Because I'm a real estate agent, right? Not only am I a real estate agent, I was a real estate investor before I became an agent. So I always am ready to sell. That's just how I am. So, um, de- depending on what that price is, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to sell, but I'm always have that mindset. And so, because I'm a person that is just, I like my home to look like no one lives here. There's a peace in that with soft tones and candles and things that just really help me stay and feel relaxed. That's so important. Like, this is where we're safe every day. And if my space at home is in a disarray or unorganized, I'm more unorganized. And I feel like my space is a reflection of me. Yes, Danica, weight loss after 50, shit's hard. It's hard. You don't have any motivation, nothing fits you right. You got this new body, you're trying to figure it all away. Figure it all out, excuse me, and it's hard. So tomorrow's video will start with me in the gym, and I'll share some meals that I make. I have this kind of love-hate relationship, this hate relationship with meat. And so I journey between being a vegetarian and recognizing sometimes where I need more protein in my life. And so some of the meals that I share are completely vegetarian. I'm not. I would love to subscribe to the vegan life, but um, I'm allergic to most of the things in the vegan diet. So nuts, mushrooms, corn, wheat. Um, God, like there's such a long list of things that I can't eat in the vegan life. So yes, buy gorgeous sleepwear and gorgeous robes. Yes, Lorraine. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I like Belgian chocolate. I love that, Aretha. Thank you so much. Yes, we have to take care of our skin. Our skin. Yes, thank you so much. Yes. Yes, like sharing my platform and my video and my channel with others is how we're going to be able to grow. Um, and so please share the messages with other women that you know, other amazing souls that you know. Yes, Regina, yes, I do it myself. And so my journey in perming my hair is really, it's not even something I really need to do, but my hair is so wavy that in the grow out, I get really frustrated with the curls, with the waviness of it. I like it really straight. So I do. I use Butter Blend, and so which is by Mazzani, and Butter Blend doesn't completely break down the curl pattern in your hair in that perming process. And so when I just leave it in for a few minutes, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, and then I just rinse it out, and it's just enough to just take that little bit of wave out, and especially in the process where I've been like cutting it, which I'm not doing anymore, right? Because we're growing it. So yes, I do it myself, and I buy the kits. You can buy them online, and usually at four in a pack, and I use just a little bit, and I end up throwing out the whole thing. but I use just a little bit, rinse it through, um, and then move on with my day. Yes, yes. We are princesses, a queen. Uh, yes, yes, yes. Jay Vickers, tell me your first name. Um, so yes, I think sometimes it happens to us and we don't even really realize that we're rushing. Like rushing for what? Like why? Why do I need to rush through dinner? First of all, when you're rushing to make dinner and rushing to prepare dinner, think about it. Every time I did that, I had indigestion. I don't rush my food. My food, I have to take time and be gentle with food. I'm expecting this to nourish me, And so the same thing with house cleaning. Like it's just so yes, it's so important to be intentional with what we're doing. Keisha, that's kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes once it grows out, I do it once a year. Um, and just because usually in Atlanta, it's really humid and it used to kind of just I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So I would just run it through like in the July, August timeline. When it was super short, I probably did it every 6 to 8 weeks just because I was trying to get it to not be curly, not wave up. Because as soon as my hair hits, it starts to just get really wavy. And that was very frustrating for me trying to grow it out. Um, oh, yeah, you know, my life, tell me your name. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Sandy. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. For the ladies that have just chimed in, I want to thank you for being the best part of what we're building here. This would not happen with each and every one of you. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support and all the love and the authenticity. Um, you know, I I show up so authentically in my videos, and sometimes it's depleting. Like I have to go lay down sometimes after I'm done editing because I walk back through all those emotions, because my commitment is to stay well and help others be well, right? That's the goal here. It's to support each and every one of you on your journey to be your best, most amazing self. And you have to take it. You can't hope it's going to happen for you. You have to, my life, tell me your first name. Um, okay. And so you can't find time. You have to make a decision to take that time. So add it to your schedule. Add it to your schedule. You can't have any much more going on than yourself, right? And that's a decision that we have to make. Is that we have to just make a decision that we are going to be a priority and we are going to make time without feeling guilty for doing that. We all have things going on. In some seasons, yes, it's a lot, but you can take 20 minutes or 30 minutes to slowly sip hot tea or a cup of coffee. You can do that for yourself. Um, um, let's see. I caught a glimpse of the Bible. Yes, yes, yes. So that Bible is amazing. Um, you know, the Bible, it's in my Amazon storefront, and I can actually drop those links if you guys want me to do that. Hang on for just a second. I can drop the Bible link. That's in my Amazon storefront. So if you guys want me to drop the links here, let me know. You know, um, Danica, I used to have that same challenge. When other people would cancel, I would just not go. Now I just go, right? Because all I'm doing is it was creating kind of a suffer place in me. And suffer is probably not the right word, but where I just wasn't living my life. The best place to go to a restaurant in your city and sit is at the bar. Like I'm a bar girl. I go sit at the bar because guess what? You can interact with the bartender and other people that go sit at the bar. They're usually by themselves as well. And so, um, go sit at the bar. You don't, and it allows you to just kind of be. And sometimes I'm sitting at the bar and I whip out my phone, or I might have my laptop with me, or sometimes I don't have anything and I'm just sitting there and just having conversation. I strike up conversations with people sitting next to me. You look around, you think I know all those people. I don't, right? And so just do that. So try that for me, Danica. Try that for me. Just go to a restaurant or pick a restaurant that you like and just go sit at the bar. And the first time is probably going to be the hardest, but once you do it the first time, it's going to be easier for you to do that. And that's what I do. I just go sit at the bar. Bartender's always happy to talk to you. And if you don't want to talk to anyone while you're sitting at the bar, that's okay too. So that's kind of that safe space where you can just be, and it's amazing. And I meet people, they go sit at the bar. We go meet at the bar. I don't even know their names, and we all end up at the bar at the same day. Like, hey, I'll see you Monday. Okay, I'll be there Tuesday, or whatever it is. And so, congratulations on being a new real estate agent, Regina. That's exciting. Best decision ever was to get my real estate license. And I would say that even for someone who is dual career, I would say think about it this way: if you did four transactions in a month, in a year, excuse me, four transactions in a year, and those transactions paid you $10,000, you just put $40,000 into your household. Like, do it. Um, do it. Get the license. Don't if you have another income, don't bail on that and build slowly. You don't have to quit everything. I know a lot of successful dual career agents. I trained a lot of them. I have an amazing book, ebook on my e-commerce site that talks about how to build and blossom in real estate, how to brand yourself, how to build and blossom. It's actually called Build, Brand, Blossom in Real Estate. It's a real estate agent success guide. And I basically took my 20 plus years and I put that all in a guide of just very clear what you do to be successful year to year and build. So Emily, girl, I got ADHD and I live with it every day. It's real. It's real. You know, yeah, so something that helped me for a long time, and I'm out of it and I need to pick up some more, is I take ashwagandha. I take 2 every day on an empty stomach. And it really helped me with kind of the anxieties that came with feeling overwhelmed. You know, what I do, and sometimes I get really overwhelmed with the things that I need to do, and I just stop, take a breath. Sometimes I call a friend and just chat. But then I start just making lists, and I make realistic lists, um, you know, and just slowly add things because it is overwhelming. ADHD or not, like, great example. The other day, I got up from my desk to get something. I don't even remember what the hell it was. By the time I turned around, I had opened up and cleared out 3 drawers in my closet. I was organizing my kitchen and I started doing laundry. Like, it's real. And so one of the things that I'll do is I'll put a task on my schedule. And instead of me trying to tackle it that day, Emily, I will just say, you know what, this is one of my goals for the week. Or by the end of the month, I'd like to do this. I'd like to add this or transition into this. And so that's helped me significantly be able to get more done. The great thing about ashwagandha is it helps your body manage stress. And um, as a result of it, I slept better. So literally I started it like 5 or 6 years ago. The first day I took it, I slept 8 hours that night. And so I am more consistent because I'm sleeping better. I'm getting lots of rest as a result of it. But life can be a little overwhelming. One of the things I did was I did a lot of field trips to Sephora, Emily, and that helped me slowly introduce a product when it was convenient for me. And then I could make a decision on when I wanted to add it to my life. Hey, you want to say hi? No, my daughter just came in. Those of you that asked about her, there she goes. So, yes. So that's what I would recommend, Emily, is that maybe the goal is to add it in that month and not necessarily or in that quarter, if that actually works. But going to Sephora and getting samples allowed me to try products without feeling like I had to make a commitment to it. And that really helped me tremendously so that when I wanted to add a product, then I knew it was there waiting for me and I could add it when it felt like the right time. Um, yes, yes, I am working on some events. So I hope to have that information for you soon. Um, but yes, Lorraine, I'm definitely working on putting together some events. Let's see, before bed. Yes, yes. Valley, I never thought of putting the hydro, hy- hydrolonic acid on my hands. I always have a hard time with that word. So I'm gonna try that. Like, oh my gosh, that's such a great gem. Um, let's see, Audrey, how am I feeling about having new love or companionship in my life? I'm for it. I'm calling it all in. So I'm calling it all in. Um, I love this. I love this, Baloo, that you go to. Yes, it's fun to actually just go to a bar and sit. You don't have. You can leave when you want to. You can show up when you want to. You get to talk to who you want to, vibe how you want to or don't want to. And I love it. It's so easy. But the first time is always hard, right? So I um Danica, go ahead and do that. We want you to do that. So by the next live, you're going to be able to report how that event was. And hopefully you've done at least one or two by then. Um, yes, yes, yes. So I have been thinking about a couple of events. They will require that you subscribe to, they will require that you be on the list. I've started having conversations with a couple of hotels in the area about having a private event. I'm also planning a public event, maybe at one of the larger parks in Atlanta. Not sure how that's going to go because I feel like that could turn into something really big, but where we can actually share some really just intimate time together. So I'm actually working on a couple of events. I've talked to a couple of venues and working to put something together. So as soon as I have that all ironed out, and my hope is to have at least one event before the end of this year. Okay. Before or by October. So I'll keep you posted on that. It's going to be so much fun for us all to get together and hug and cry and share some time together. Hi, Alicia. Thank you so much. Um, thank you so much for joining our growing tribe. Thank you for being the best part of what we're doing here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I am. I just, this is amazing, the space that we're building, that the safe space where we can grow, we can learn, we can pivot, we can heal, we can thrive, you know, and we can become. It's incredible. I'm so grateful. Um, yes, yes, yes. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yes. One of the things, Emily, going back to ADHD for a moment, what I do is I have alarms that go off all day. If I have appointments or calls or I've started something and I've given myself 2 hours or an hour to work on it, I set an alarm. And when that thing goes off, I got to stop. And so that has helped me a lot stay on task because, especially in a creative space, when you're doing things that you love, it's easy to lose track of time, right? And so, but I have to stay on task. I have a responsibility to stay on task. I can't just go down this rabbit hole every day, right? And so I actually set alarms all day, and they're going off all throughout the day. Um, when my daughter was a young girl, I used to have an alarm for her bedtime, her bath time, because I'd turn around and it'd be like midnight, and my 4-year-old was still up. You know what I mean? Like what? And because I worked more non-traditional hours, it worked out, or I may have been off that next day, but I wanted her to be on a really consistent schedule. So her bedtime, an hour before her bedtime, an alarm went off. Her bedtime, an alarm went off. Her bath time, and so those are things that I use now in my life just to help me. I actually don't wake up to an alarm, but I use them throughout my day because I allow myself to be guided, and I get up when I get up. And if that's 3 a.m., if that's 4 a.m., if that's 5, if that's 8 a.m., that's what it's going to be. And then I walk intentionally throughout my day, at that point. Yes, we're going to have a meetup. And I am Teresa. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Wanda, yes, yes, there is going to be a girls meetup, and I'm planning it. Trust. So like I mentioned, I talked to a couple of venues, and trying to just figure out what that's going to look like, what the capacity is, how many women can, and you'll have to register. It's not going to just be, you're going to be able to just show up. Your name's going to have to be on a list. And I'm going to work through the details of that. And I'm also thinking about like an event in Piedmont Park where I can make soft girl life shirts available for purchase, and then we can actually just share some time together. So I'm working on some things. Those of you who've purchased shirts, those orders will be going out next week. There was a change with the wholesaler, and that's caused some of the delay. And kind of worked all that out, but it's still a little bit of a process. So those things will go out next week. I have not discussed Chevelle embracing gray hair. I know that you posted a message about that. And, my transition was just my transition. My transition was really to stop plucking my grays out because I never dyed my hair. Actually, I wouldn't say I never dyed my hair. I think I dyed my hair twice in my life. And it wasn't, I didn't do it myself. I had low lights done where my hair is naturally brown. So the low lights made it darker. And that was fine. I loved it, but I never dyed my hair. So for me, how my gray hair has grown in is how, thank God made it look like something. Okay. Um, yes, alarms work. They work, Alicia. It changed my life. And so I think that, I ran into a woman. Um, I was at an appointment and I ran into a woman, and she had this gorgeous long hair. And she was talking about, she turned to me and complimented me on my hair. And she's like, she was thinking about dyeing her hair. And I was like, oh my God, why? She's like, I just feel like it makes me look older. I said, you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. And so what I do when I'm out in the world is that I just share my thoughts about gray hair to other women and lift them up, because I think that, it's a badge of honor. That's how I see it. It's a badge of honor. My mom has started, she has let her hair grow in naturally, and I've been talking to her about it for years. I used to watch my mom dye her hair, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that, because you got to keep that up. And I think that's why for me it didn't work, because I was just like, I don't have the capacity to manage that however often you have to do that. And like I said, my biggest issue was that when my gray hair first started coming in, I used to pluck it. And my mom was like, you probably don't want to do that. I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. And she was like, well, okay. But one day I realized I was pulling my hair out. When it grew back in, it grew in gray. And so I was going to be the ball girl, not on purpose, right? Because I was plucking my hair out. And so it came in just naturally. I mean, it just really, it looks like, and I'm asked all the time what color I've dyed my hair. I don't dye my hair. This is just what it looks like. And thank God it looks like something that, looks fabulous. I'm grateful for that. And I think that embracing it is just a part of embracing who you are. And I think when you do that, everything you do is amazing. Everything you do is beautiful. And that's why I can say that without hesitation. I am beautiful. So everything that I represent is going to be beautiful because I speak that I am beautiful. I'm love. So everything that I do and am is love. Right. And so when you speak those manifestations, you're going to wake up one day and believe it because it's true. We have to, regardless of what you believe, this is what I believe. We have to see ourselves as perfectly as God created us. And when we can see ourselves as perfectly as He created us, things change in incredible ways. And so I speak that for each and every one of you that you will see yourself as incredibly as you were created. Yes, yes, yeah, like yeah. But I didn't plan to have two pets, but one day my daughter came home with a dog, and I just had to like help her, and so it's worked out where but yes, I'd love to talk about how I manage my condo, and tell me what you need more about manage my condo. Like it was a journey. I'll say this, it was a journey to transition. My daughter and I lived in a three-level townhome. I had four cars, a golf cart, all this stuff. And I woke up one day and said I was going to sell that property and buy this. And so we transitioned. She actually transitioned to, with her dad because it was during the pandemic and she actually didn't live with dad daily and wanted that. And it was a great opportunity for them. They got this great, amazing dad time every day. It was amazing. And I was like, I'm breaking out. So I set her up, and then I made a decision that I was going to sell my condo, excuse me, sell my house and buy a condo in the city. And that was a journey. I literally had things in storage for a year and a half. I had to figure out how to live in less than 800 square feet, and it was a challenge for me. But and then my daughter was like, I want to, come back and be with you. And I was like, well, wherever I am is home. So come on, girl. So I customized cabinets. I customized. Sorry, one of the babies was crying. Excuse me, ladies, for a second. What's wrong? So this is the newest addition to our family. And he's this tiny little teacup poodle that is just he's just this tiny little thing. He weighs not even 2 pounds. Off they go to play. So so I think the biggest thing for me in the condo life is really, thank you, is just deciding who I wanted to be. And so this was a dream that I manifested. And the only reason it didn't manifest sooner was because I didn't see how it was going to fit in my life. But this is a dream that I quietly carried for 12 years. And I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to go get it. And I did. I literally listed my house, put it on the market. I closed. From listing to close was 2 weeks, 14 days. And I boxed everything up on faith, put everything in storage, stayed with a girlfriend, looking for the right place. And I didn't even know what that was going to look like. Got exhausted with that, moved into an apartment in Vinings, the most expensive apartment, luxury apartment I could find, because I figured if I'm going to do that, I'm going to at least live like I'm in a hotel every day. And then one day I walked into this place. 3 or 4 months later, I walked into this place and I said, this was it. And I closed in 13 days. From contract to close 13 days. And so there's a power of manifesting. And so the journey of the last 5 years was me learning really how to live in this space, how to buy things that's another really important thing. Everything that I purchase had to be intentional for the space because it has to be cute, pretty, and it has to function, right? And that took me on a journey in itself because then I had to be really clear on what I wanted in my space every day, right? Why did I need 100 pairs of jeans? Why did I have even 100 pair of jeans? Like, why did I have that in my life at one point? I really wear 5 pair of jeans, maybe one or two, right? So I really downsized a lot of things. And as I did that, um, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that gift. That was amazing. Thank you. And so I think that in itself all works with this because everything that I purchase has value. It has a meaning to me, and I'm intentional in everything that I do. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for being the best part of what we're building. And that I mean this for each and every one of you. Um, you guys are the best part of what we're building here. Okay, so I'm trying to get through. Hi from Italy. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Um, Finding the right place is the hardest. Tell me the right place with what? One of my lights died. Um, right place to purchase or right space for you to live in? Tell me what you mean by that so I can help guide you a little bit. Um, and then tell me what else we need to topic wise you'd like to cover. Let me see if I can get that to no. Well, it died. It's fine. We don't need it. Um, Dana, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. So we've been talking about wellness and mindset. We've been talking about, we talked a little bit about skincare and balance and managing our schedules and demands without feeling overwhelmed. And, I shared that. Oh, no. Oh, excuse me for a second. Little dog is eating big dog's food. No, you can't eat this food. So the first time, it's crazy how fast he is and how he does that every single time. So the first time that the little puppy ate Bailey's food, my daughter and I ended up in the dog hospital for 8 hours. Like he had gotten so sick because it was a new food that he had never eaten, and it gave him horrible diarrhea, and he had dehydrated. He had to get like fluids. It was bad. It was bad. And then, okay, what's up? What's up? Okay, all right. Here's Bailey. Bailey wants to barely say hi. You hear me talking. You want to see what's going on? Yeah, they're such great pets. Great fur babies. Yes, I know. Like everybody wants to hang out with mama. Like it's a lot sometimes with these two. But um I know, I know. All right, I'll see you guys later. We'll talk a little bit later. All right, go play. Um, thank you so much. It's so much fun sharing time, and I feel like, and we are all getting to know each other, right? And I feel like you guys are all my besties, all my girlfriends. I want to know how your day is going. I want to know what's going on in your week. I want to know how you're feeling. So I love your messages. Many of you have messaged me on Instagram, and I'm getting better. I'm getting better with that because I don't, there's like 2 layers of spam folders. And so I'm getting better about checking that. But I love to connect with you. Um, I also starting to see more of my followers, my subscribers jump over to TikTok. And so and what I am trying to do is have similar pillar content wise, but just in a different format, right? So the healing meditations, I might actually read those out and talk about them on TikTok and drop those on Instagram. And so it's been a lot of fun just being able to connect with you all on different platforms. Um, yeah, yes. Hi, Teresa. So, Dana, it's hard to And I'm in the business, and I didn't even know what I was looking for. I knew, but what I knew is when I found it, I would know. So, one of the things that I suggest that others can do is if you want to plan a little weekend getaway or overnight stay, book an Airbnb with different style of properties that you might be interested in, and that may help you. Or go spend the day. For example, I have a lot of friends that live in the suburbs and they want to transition to a life in the city. And so what I've shared with them is go spend the day working in a coffee shop in the city. Go do that. Um, because it will help you, go have work for the day, go have lunch in the area, go spend a Saturday, a weekend in the area, do things to immerse yourself into that environment to see if it's going to resonate with you. And you may have to do that for a little bit, I'll go if I'm considering, you know, an area. Well, and that's kind of what I did in this space. So I would go and hang out in the city and I would go do things in the city. And the more I did it, the better it felt for me. Um, and so it just made it once I found the place, and I was looking at real estate all the time because I sold my place and it was it was a strange place to not be sure what I wanted, but I allowed myself to journey through it and not feel pressure because I owe myself the opportunity to take my time and find the right space for me, right? And the space is absolutely amazing and it's perfect for me. It's not right for everyone. I love waking up to the amazing views. I love hearing the city move around at night. Sometimes I'm on my balcony at 1 midnight or 1 in the morning watching the city or listening to the city, if you will. And so but it was an adjustment. I had to figure out how to cook. I didn't know how to cook in this little ass kitchen. Like I didn't know what to do with that. I mean, I literally had like 5 pots now where I had all this stuff and in this gourmet kitchen, and I entertained every weekend, and I had people in my home all the time, and like I had to figure out how to cook. I didn't know. I had this little ass counter space. I didn't know what to do with any of that, and it took me about 6 months to figure out how to do it. Um, let's see. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much. Yes, like I literally place things based on what it feels like. So if I place a chair somewhere, I actually sit and I allow myself to be present in that chair and just absorb what it feels like in that space. And that tells me if it's in the right place or not. I do the same thing with where I hang art pieces and where the mirror goes and what drawer I use for what. Everything is really about being inspired. And the more I yield to that, the happier I am. So thank you so much. Have you discussed managing your nervous system in stressful moments? So, wow. You know what? We haven't talked about that, Mary, but I'd love to. So, one of the things that I have added in my life is ashwagandha, and it helps the body manage stress and anxiety. I didn't know I had anxiety. I didn't know until maybe a number of years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, that I had anxiety, and ashwagandha helps me with that. I used to hold my breath when I was stressed, like holding my breath. All that did was make me more stressful. And so I have become more intentional about that once I became more self aware. And the less rushed I was, the more I was able to really understand myself, right? Um, um, and there were things that I did when I was stressed, how I managed or what my facial expressions look like, or like I said, my breathing changed when I was stressed. And so pouring into me every day changes that. And so the things that I need in a season could change. Like, for example, if I feel stressed, I used to stop, and make a hot cup of tea. Because what the hot cup of tea for me simulates feeling like I'm sitting in the sun. And so what I did was I started to meditate on the things that relaxed me. Wearing flip flops. I'm an island girl. I wear flip flops year round. That's my thing. And so I don't compromise that because it makes me feel free, right? And it's just, these are just things I've just understand about myself that are really important to help me stay balanced so that when those moments come, they don't have such a great impact, Mary, if that makes sense, right? So if you are filling your cup consistently, right? And filling our cup, that's our self care, right? How we manage the day, what we do in the day, what we give ourselves in the day, even, drinking out of a favorite teacup. That is saying, I love me, right? And those small little things really matter to me. So organizing my space is a reflection of me loving me, right? That's a Trisha thing. And so Trisha does what makes her feel good. And the more I do that, the less impact stressful situations have on my body. Make time for a walk, make time for quiet time, make time to watch, color or watch a cartoon or do something that, chat with a friend that makes you feel good about who you are, right? And so the more of those things we do, I have found that the less impact a stressful moment has on us. Um, Di, I love it. Yes, hit me up. Find me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. Um, so I don't know if you have any other questions about, like, this time is amazing. So recap, we are, oh, they're new, hang on, I don't want to miss anything. Um, so I feel like, again, the more consistently we give ourselves and the less we feel like we're compromising ourselves in the world, the less impact those things have, right? And that is boundaries, operating with boundaries that help you maintain who you are. Speaking up for yourself is important, right? That was something that I didn't always do because I was a peacemaker. I always wanted to just keep the peace. I want everybody to be okay. I'm like the perfect host. No, like I wasn't speaking up for myself on things that I needed when people were crossing my boundaries. And so now I'm able to address it in ways, that's healthy for me and healthy for them. And if whoever they are, don't respect my boundaries, then they don't get certain spaces and places in my life, right? I limit my access or I disconnect depending on what the nature is of that relationship. Because I just, yes, yes, ashwagandha is amazing. I never had the tea. I do the vegan capsules. I've never actually, I didn't even know they had a tea. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, so I think this is the great thing about what we're building here is that we get to just share very authentically, very openly, without fear of judgment and criticism of who we are and what we're going through. And we need this space. We need a space where we can just be, we can talk and we can share and not feel uncomfortable about sharing the things that we have questions about or sharing our thoughts. Because we're we're not alone in this. Again, that's the great thing about what we're building here is that we're in this thing together. I'm a message away, and very soon, we're going to have an opportunity. Some of us will have an opportunity to be an arm's distance away and actually hug one another. And so I look forward to that day, and I am planning an event at a local, it probably will be at a hotel or a restaurant. I haven't kind of figured that out. I'm kind of thinking one of the hotels here in the city where I live in Buckhead, and then something at a park is kind of what I'm thinking. Um, but the hotel event will require um, a previous like registration, in order to attend that. Um, yes, I love collecting teacups. One of the things about this amazing space I live in is that it's small, and so I can't collect some of those things in the ways that I once did. Um, but the truth is, I can only use one teacup at a time, right? So I love teacups. I love them. I love teacups and saucers and little tiny bowls. I love collecting those things. Um, and that's one of the things that I did on my weight loss journey is that I really manage my portion control by the size of the plates and cups and bowls that I use. And so I'm very intentional with that. I use, and you've seen them on my videos and pictures, I use these rectangular plates. Only so much food can fit on that. That's intentional. And they're cute. But, and it just allows me to really just control portions. Portion control is huge, right? Managing the intake of your calories is important. You know, at certain seasons we may have to be a little bit more regimented in that, but we don't want to be so regimented where we don't live, right? If you want the cake, eat the cake. Just eat a slice. Just don't eat the whole cake, right? And learning how to not deny ourselves the things that we love is really important. We got to live this life. We have to eat the slice of cake. Go get the ice cream, right? One of the videos that I recently did, I literally put on a waist trainer and then I have the ice cream because the waist trainer life is really important, And I will have a couple of I may go a week in a month and I wear it every day, and that kind of helps me kind of manage things uh, as I kind of move along this journey. But again, for those that just came in, tomorrow's video is going to be about how I lost weight over 50 and how to lose weight and maintain that weight without starving ourselves. Starvation is a plan. It's not a very good one, but it's a plan, right? And how we can kind of just manage ourselves on because our life bodies are different over 50. When I was younger, I didn't have a weight gain thing. I actually was on weight gainers trying to gain weight. So and then my body shape has changed because the more you work out, your body shape changes. I will say that walking is probably the best exercise. I look at how defined my legs have gotten, my calves have gotten from just walking. And sometimes I'll walk 2 miles. I never thought I would actually say that I would actually walk 2 miles, but sometimes I do just because I'm enjoying the walk. Um, Yes, yes. And I think, society has kind of conditioned us in those ways that we have these responsibilities to take care of everyone else. And we do as women and mom to a degree, but we can't do it to the extent where we neglect ourselves, right? Because it's so important. We have to care for ourselves. Again, I care for others well, but I'm not going to care for them more than I care for myself, period. And I just made that decision about myself and I'm going to give you a lot, but I'm going to give myself a lot first. And when we, we if we're not careful, we turn around and realize that everyone else is all shiny and smells good, and we look a hot mess, right? Because we're doing the digging, we're in the ditch, we're in the closet, we're in the project, and we're so focused on getting things taken care of. I would a great example is getting, a baby ready for a big event, a ball or a gala or prom or something, and you see the pictures and the little human is looking amazing, and the parents look a hot mess because they're exhausted because they've been doing all the back work, right? They are the employees, and so you know, that maybe not be the best example of being a little extreme in that, but we have to make sure we manage ourselves. Waist trainer, some days I wear it for 6 hours, and that's why I get a banded style. I might wear it for 8 hours. I might put it on for 4 hours. And I wear a banded style because it's very breathable. You can wear it underneath your clothes without being seen, but anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. Definitely do not sleep in a waist trainer. Don't take a nap in a waist um, but anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Hi, Sky. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Um, yes, we thank you, Lavette. We cannot pour from an empty cup. It's like you're at an ATM and you keep making withdrawals from a bank account. Eventually, you're going to be in the negative, right? If you don't make any deposits. And it's that same thing. Like we have to pour into ourselves. Um, Before we jump, because we're almost 2 hours in, we're an hour and 40 minutes into our live. I know, you're such a good boy. Do you have any questions? I love the time that we've spent today. Any questions or any links before we jump off today? And um, I'm going to add a live for content creators. And I think what I will do is I will do that next 2 weeks from today. It will be one for content creators. I'll talk about equipment. I'll talk about lighting. We'll talk about how to come up with content, what equipment you could use. I really, um, I really feel like every creator can go very far with their phones. With as good as technology is today, you don't have to go out and buy all this fancy equipment. Yes, I am still in real estate. Yes, yes, I am. Um, I also do, I still coach and mentor, um, mostly with brokers. And I have some really cool projects coming up in the real estate space that I'll be able to talk about soon. Um, nice, nice. Send me a message on if you go to. I have investors that are outside of the United States as well, overseas, and that's actually kind of been one of my specialties. I work with a group of investors in Australia for a long number of years, and I actually had an opportunity to go visit them in Australia a while back. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a lots of fun. So just send me a message, either through one of the social media platforms, or in the bottom of every video is my email address, and you can just send me an email and we can chat that way. Um, no, there were just investment groups that collabed in different ways, and then I had some other investors that operated different trusts and other actually domestically. Um, so it was really just divine intervention how I even connected with them. And then I work with a large group out of St. Croix. They're individual investors, and so I've worked with that group out of St. Croix 16 or 17 years. We worked together with that investment group. So I have a long history working with investors outside of the United States. And having someone you can trust domestically is really, really important. So getting you connected with the right attorney to set up the right entities and things like that is what I specialized in, especially being an investor myself before I got my real estate license. And for yeah, these are the things that I think I wish I knew before I purchased the expensive cameras. And the expensive camera is great, but with the quality of the phones that you have, you can do a lot of filming from your phones. There's so much that you can do. Most of the content that I'm filming, I'm using my cell phone to film, and there's no difference in the high quality 4K quality from my camera to my phone because sometimes I mix them. You can't tell the difference. I'm filming in Cinematic on my cell phone, I have really downsized the tools that I use, and so literally most of the tools that I walk with, I can carry in this pouch from a creator standpoint. And so I stick them all in here, and I just walk out the door, and I have everything I need except for the tripod. And then when I have larger filming that I need to do, and the reason I started doing that is a lot of businesses and areas started not frowning on the big camera, right? And so this is I have a Sony um, ZV, I have the E10. And so it was hard to take this into certain places because this was off putting. I'd go into stores and I was told I couldn't use the camera. So I had to figure out how to work around that. And so I started using my phone. Everyone uses their cell phone, and no one tells me to put the cell phone down. Yeah, exactly. No, no one. As a matter of fact, people will stop and allow you to film, and then stop and talk to you about what you're filming and why. So it's a great opportunity to get to know other people. And so a lot of times, like I said, I am literally everything that I need is right here. I've got a great light, and I have this is available on my store. This was the light that I actually was using. I think it's completely batteries completely died, so it's not going to come on. But this light is amazing. I can use this at any given point in time and look absolutely incredible. Um, this is a cell phone tripod mount, and this is great. I mean, it allows you to catch like all kinds of angles and turn and stand it up. It can stand on its own as well. So I'll talk a lot about the 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 tools that I use now that are really easy to allow you to create. Because trust and believe, I probably bought every last one of them out here on the market to figure out what really works. This is a mirroring light. I mean, a um, yeah, a mirror. It's a mirroring tool. So for your back camera. So if you're filming and you want to use your back camera, you just flip on this mirror and you can actually see yourself and make sure that your camera that you're in frame, right? This was a few bucks, really inexpensive in comparison to the mirroring vlog screen that overheats. It jumps on and off. Um, the Bluetooth, I mean, it just is a problem. I know it's genius. I found it. I'll see if I can find this on Amazon. I actually found it on TikTok, and I haven't done a video yet, but I found this on TikTok. I think it was like $7 or $8, and it's genius. So I don't have to worry about battery dying on it. I don't have to worry about it disconnecting. I don't have to worry about it overheating because that was the issue with some of those other mirroring screens is that they overheat, which then causes your phone to start to overheat. Like, oh my God. And then boom, right here, I'm in frame and I can go ahead and record and it's great. And so again, I'll talk about the things that I use that make it really easy for you to film, the tools that you can use so you don't have to invest a lot. CapCut is a fabulous tool. I monetize using CapCut. I switched over to Final Cut Pro, which is an Apple product. I'm an Apple girl. What I love about Final Cut Pro, two things, is they have a 90-day free trial. You can try it for 90 days without making a financial investment. And even with the free trial, you have support. You can call Apple for 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. every day and get help. So I got them on speed dial because that is how I've been able to take my editing to the next level. I see a concept or an idea, I call Apple and I figure out how to do it and then I implement it into my content. So, I mean, my content editing game has changed because I have taught myself Final Cut Pro. I got a couple of tips along the way and I've just taught myself over the last year and a half. And it's been incredible. I go back and look at some of them. There was a video that I did that was a combination, a collection of other healing videos. And I was able to actually see my progression in terms of editing. So it was incredible. Android girls, I don't know. DaVinci, I think, is a really good product. DaVinci. Thank you so much for joining us. We're at the end of our time, but it's never too late to join the party, girl. So we talked about hair, skin, nails. We talked about managing our schedules and not feeling overwhelmed. There will be some events coming up in Atlanta. There will be something at either a hotel or a restaurant that will require that you register, and then another event that I'll probably do in a park. So I'll have details on that coming up soon. Thank you for being the best part of what we're building here. We're talking about right now some tools we're using for content for those that are content creators. And I feel like everyone should be a content creator. Like everyone has influence, and it's an opportunity for you to create a stream of income for yourself and your family. And if you don't need it, just put it in an account somewhere. You know, and I think that everyone has influence, and I think everyone has an opportunity. If you're on these platforms, you might as well monetize yourself. So I'll talk about how I got to monetizing my channel, which I did in 6 months. Actually, 6 months to the date for my first upload, I monetized my channel. And honestly, I could have done it sooner if I would have put some things in place before and followed that recipe that I'd outlined. So, it can happen a lot sooner, depending once you've kind of figured out what direction you want to go in. And the truth is, your niche will find you. Don't get so caught up on like, what's my niche going to be? It's going to find you. It's going to find you because as you stand in your most authentic self, it's going to find you. Yeah, it was incredible. And so the things that I know now is how I operate now, and that I'll be able to share with each and every one of you. I mean, I'm an open book. I did have a plan to create a course, but I haven't gotten there yet. It's just it's a lot to do this every day and manage the other things that I do. And so eventually I'll get to the course. It'll happen. But so I'll schedule a live for 2 weeks from today. It'll be at the same time. I'll drop it in the next couple of days. I'll drop it into my YouTube channel and we'll just talk. Have your questions ready because the the live will go based on what you feel that you guys want to talk about. Yes, yes, yeah. Like you have to plan. You cannot get on these platforms and wing it. Yes, congratulations, Sky. Congratulations. It's so exciting, like to stand in a space where you get to be free. But even in that freeness, you still have to have a plan. And you just can't get up here and start rambling about stuff because you have to be able to demonstrate value, right? Demonstrate value to your audience, and that's what's going to get them keep coming back, right? And as you find your voice, it will become easier. And sometimes we don't know what we want to talk about. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, and eventually, I found my space in this. So I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing time with me today. Like, oh my gosh, we're right under 2 hours. 6 more minutes, and we'll be um, in 2 hours. So it's exciting, and I love to hear other people's plan. I love to hear that you are choosing you and that you are going after your dreams and your desires. Take the things that you learned out here in the world, right? Those are all tools in your tool bag, and you can use those things to help you grow. It's okay. It's okay. Like we do this once a month, and really, this space is I intentionally don't plan it. I just we talk about um, whatever you guys want to talk about is what we do. You're welcome. Thank you for stepping into my world and being a part, the best part of what we're doing here, because it wouldn't happen with each and every one of you. So thank you for showing up so authentically. Yes, yes, thank you. They help us all, and this This morning, I dropped the new series of prompts that we're going to be talking about, and it's they're focused on. Hang on. Can I? No, I can't do that. So they are focused on standing in our softness and our soft life as women. And so I dropped two this morning, one for yesterday and one today. And so we're going to move into just standing in our soft life and caring for ourselves and we're becoming every day, right? Becoming our most amazing self each and every day. So thank you for your time. You guys have the best day today. Have an amazing weekend, and thank you for your time. Um, it was my absolute pleasure. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you on the next video. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.